When I hear people say, keep the same energy, I think, why would you wish that on me? Don't you want to see me get better? Welcome to my channel, or welcome back, loyal viewers. I'm Kerry, the nosy housefrau, and if you are new here, I am a drama, commentary, humorist, beauty, lifestyles review, random crap from my head kind of channel. I'm also a semi-sane cat lady. Subscribe. Your pets would want you to. So, things move so quickly. I actually sat down to do this creating a look with androgyny. That was my original intention. Sometimes you got to go back to the tried and true stuff. And I was going to talk to you about conspiracy, which I still will, but I heard a thud. And because I am my Grandma Florence's granddaughter, I heard her voice in my head go, "Be very careful, Kerry." And I said, well, what could that be? There are these guys. They rob a place in Detroit, then they come to your house and they take you hostage and they kill you. Grandma, that's an hour away. You don't know. So it turned out it was just the innocent old post office. It's my mini controversy palette. It showed up here. And now I'm going to do a look with this one. I didn't think I'd see it so soon. I ordered it the Monday after the launch, so I was actually a few days short. Of course, there was no way I was going to get the other one, and I did get it. I have an interesting story that I will link below if you haven't seen that video already. I was surprised I was able to get that at all since I didn't get it on launch day. And let me just open this up so you can't see the address. Don't want anyone knowing I live at 4225 Indian Court. Pat, we gotta move again. Ooh, I think I'm actually more excited about this. Oh my gosh. Than I was the big palette. Conspiracy. The colors are gorgeous. And you've probably seen them swatched a million times, but I'll swatch a couple anyway. This is Controversy, which I think I have to create a look with first. That's really beautiful. Controversy. And then there's, oh, you know what? I have to use the simulation because now that I look at it, it looks kind of like a shimmer a little bit. Whoops. Definitely looks like a shimmer. Let me get that close enough. Those look, I'm reading them on camera the same way that they are. There's Diet Root Beer, Controversy, and Exposed. Exposed is definitely a lavender. It's a light lavender. Let me see if I can swatch that for you in between those other two. You see it show up. See, it actually has like a purple sheen to it. That's gorgeous. I love cool colors like that. And then my friend's purse. I see some possibilities with these. If these were in the big palette, these probably would be what would catch everybody's eye in the big palette as well. So it's nice that they sort of created an exciting mini version of it. I didn't see that kind of blue in the big Controversy. So speaking of the conspiracy palette, in the big conspiracy palette, there were people, and the numbers are hard to know for sure, but it's definitely more than one or two. I think it was at least, I'm going to guess, at least 6 people. And I did try to find some. Somebody said that there were like a dozen. And there were some complaints all filled out together. Now, my first reaction was, well, when you sell 1 million palettes, yes. And that's how I felt with Jacqueline's when I first found out about Jacqueline's Sasquatch lipsticks. I thought, by the way, I'm starting with my look. I'm putting on some e.l.f. primer because my skin is dry and stuff. So I'll talk while I do this. I saw that she had some problems, but it seemed proportionate to what she had. It seemed like a lot. Like it seemed to me that most had a problem. And now that's a bold claim. I don't have the exact figures. But really what matters is how you handle that customer service. I think at the end of the day, all of these beauty influencers, all these people who have their name on makeup, most of them are not chemists, you know. I think Nady is. But like most of them are putting their name on something. They're checking quality to the best of their ability. But see, I feel like Jeffrey really is hands-on and checks his quality very well, much the way I see Marlena and Jen Gerard, these kinds of CEOs. People are sort of making this false claim that people aren't keeping the same energy with Jeffrey. I see a lot of people talking about this with Jeffrey, and the difference is how they handle it. Talk about things moving fast. Yesterday I was all ready to really ask Jeffrey what's up, because there's this beauty bay problem where their customer service, when their people are getting stuff that has a problem, they're saying, well, you can ship it back to us and we'll give you, a 40% refund or something like that. So not only are these people paying to ship stuff back to Spain, they're going to only get a partial refund. For Spill Sesh was one of the persons, and I'll link some of her Twitter stuff up here, who had an issue with the Beauty Bay. And she had sent them information from a much smaller account. And a lot of people feel that because she did that, they didn't really care as much and were offering her less. And later when they found out she had a larger audience and a larger channel, it was suddenly like, well, contact us and we'll work something else out. At this point, some other people were being offered a different discount in general. Like you could get 40% off for your hairy lip conspiracy, and you could get, 50% off. Everybody's paying shipping. That seems ridiculous to me. First of all, you're a corporation. You should be insured for your shipments. And secondly, if a person pays for a product, it should come pristine. If I pay you for a full pallet and it comes broken, and in some cases it looked like the United States Post Office ran over it, but in certain cases where there's hair and there's a product problem, I shouldn't have to pay 1 penny. That really bothered me. And I was getting mad that I didn't hear anybody addressing it from Jeffrey's camp. And I said, I was all prepared to make a video saying, I know you're in Bora Bora and I don't want to bore you, but you got a customer service nightmare going on over here. And I'm so happy to tell you he did address it on Twitter. And that makes all the difference in the world. Now, he had said, this is not how we do customer service. That's exactly what I expect somebody to say if they have an issue. So there's a couple of things to take into account. If you are sending out 1 million pallets, it's pretty impossible that you're not going to have any spoilage between shipping, even when it's out of your control, and quality control. If you own a restaurant, I don't care how many Michelin stars you get, at some point over the course of a certain amount of time, there's going to be something in the food that doesn't belong there and it's going to have to go back. And I guarantee you that restaurant is going to comp the full thing. You make up to your customers when there is a quality control issue. You don't make excuses. You make it up to them and you make it right. And I think that we can say that this is what Jeffrey is doing. In the past, he has had some Twitter impulse control problems. So I was worried, like, what's he going to say? Is he going to get mad? Is he going to accuse people? We saw Jacqueline accuse people back in the day when Jeffrey had highlighter problems. He got nasty with a couple of people on Twitter. He does ultimately make things right. But now I see so much growth from him. Because I am a faithful customer and I have so many pallets, I've never had any problems with my pallets. I went over this one. By the way, this thing, it won't do it now, but it makes kind of a boing noise, and it reminds me of a piggy. But anyway, I checked my pallet with a fine-tooth comb. I was like going over this, looking for any little thing that could be under it, looking for anything. And I did that with the mini controversy just now. And mine are fine. Everything I've ever gotten, and I've gotten most of the pallets shipped to me from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, they are pristine. That doesn't mean anything, of course. Other people are going to have spoilage. What matters is how you handle it. If I were to get a pallet like this, and I noticed a lot of people had problems. The one problem seemed to be, what kind of did it? Seemed to be sleep paralysis, which I have no problem in mine. As you can see, I've dug into these already and played with them. But sleep paralysis, a lot of people would getting it crushed and then all over the pallet. You can just brush away and do that too. That's not the point, though. Like, the fact that Spill Sesh was talking to Beauty Bay and they were like negotiating with her what she could do with her crap palette, I was getting mad. I was like, hold on. These guys are sitting here. We saw in the series they're calculating the millions they're going to make. This is not acceptable that this person has to cut their losses on a palette they paid for. So it really restored my faith in Jeffree Star Cosmetics that he took to Twitter to say that he is going to make that right. Because that's what to be expected. Not pristine product all the time. Things happen. But the fact that the company makes it right, that gives me confidence. I will never get from Beauty Bay again. I did get my Me, Myself, and Mitchell palette from Beauty Bay, and it came perfectly fine. I got so busy gabbing, I forgot to start doing my dabbing. Put my makeup on. I didn't really intend to rhyme, but just a happy coincidence. My face and my eyes are particularly swollen because, as many of you know, my dog passed away Monday, Debbie Downer, and I have been crying. And if I go into how many wonderful thoughts and prayers and everything I got on Twitter, I will start crying again. So I will just say thank you very much from the bottom of my house, Frau Hart. I was so touched by the condolences. I really was, because it's been sad. And my dog, let's face it, she was always in palliative care with me because she was very old when I got her. So our time was limited, but we were close. And if something needs a mommy, I bond with it. And I was very close with my dog. And I'm very sad that she's gone. My mother-in-law died. My dog died. It's like I feel like the Grim Reaper. It's a good thing there's a lot of black in my wardrobe because I have a revolving door on the funeral parlor, apparently. Pity party of one, your table's ready. The thing about depression is, I have found, and let's get a little deep for a moment, I isolate, and then I feel sorry for myself that I'm alone. That makes no sense. It's like I want to be alone. I'm so alone. No, I just felt really sorry for myself. I was just feeling like I was the only person in the world who ever lost something. I had to snap out of it. It's really so sad that, I don't know, I just had the stage of anger and disbelief on a loop, those negative stages of grief. And usually what snaps me out of stuff like that is helping other people, but I couldn't even bring myself to do that. I was paralyzed with grief yesterday. But I am really lucky because I have wonderful friends whom I can dump on. So I feel so lucky that so many people reached out to me and texted me and tweeted me, like people I didn't even know. I didn't even know some of these people knew who I was, and they were DMing me, and it made me feel a lot better in a dark time. Because I was in a dark place in my dark place hoodie. Depression can really knock you on your arse, I'll tell you what. And I don't usually feel that way. I do not want to feel that way again anytime soon, but I'm still in a bit of a funk, but I'm doing okay. I'm doing better. I deal with death all the time. I need to just keep it in perspective, and time is a magical thing, isn't it? And I reminded myself there's a lot of people who go through that and they don't have anybody. I had droves of people. I put up a video, very heart-wrenching, of me singing to Kaya in the tub, "I'm gonna love you like I'm gonna lose you." I used to sing that to her, and it really reminded me that I was aware. I did love her like I was gonna lose her, and I was aware of how fleeting our time would be. It was 3 years, and I just feel bad for the little girl. She went very peacefully. She had cancer, and this tumor on her face was getting really big. So that was viewed like 20,000 times. Okay, so I'm starting with controversy. And I'm just going to put that on the upper lid. Doing my eyeliner last. Somebody pointed out to me, I think it was my friend Rose, said, "You put your liner on first." I'm like, sometimes I do. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm just unpredictable. Oh man, I need my Jen Gerard brow bar. Not an affiliate, not sponsored. Now, I did bake for a little bit, and I'm wondering if this e.l.f. primer isn't the best primer. Because it feels like that's the common denominator when I can't blend something as well, and this is going on a little patchy. And I don't think that happened when I used a different primer. So I'm going to have to play with this again. I'm going to test that out. I'm going to do one eye with... I was thinking the Toddy didn't perform as well as Mitchell, but the primer was different, and I think that's making a difference. Sometimes you get what you pay for. And I like how that e.l.f. primer moisturizes. It's the putty primer. But I feel like every time I use it, and maybe I'm too heavy-handed with it, it's the poreless putty primer. I think I need to use one specifically different on my eyes. And that's what I'm going to test next, because I think I just finally figured that out. And my brush is not the problem, because when I used a different primer, I had a different issue. I have to get that BB cream from Gerard Cosmetics, and they're having a big Black Friday sale. Everybody is, but I'm looking forward to that, definitely. And I'm going to use Exposed next. And I need to clean off some of my better brushes, but okay, this one's going on very well, and it is lavender. It's quite, I'm heavy-handed with the brush always. I'm always like, color, and I get a little overzealous. Learn the importance of building up, blowing it out and building it up. And gonna put a little of my boyfriend's purse in the corner. This one I just put on is exposed. Gosh, I even got chalky in the pan. But I don't see any fallout on my face. Let me see. Nope, no fallout at all. Gonna start with my boyfriend's purse. Go easy, Kerry, don't go nuts. In the corners. Oh, that's pretty. That's really shimmery. Light color. It's like a light silver or a pewter, I guess you could say. Let's swatch it. Swatch your back. Wait. Yeah, that's a shiny kind of pewter. I really like it. My boyfriend's purse. And it looks like it would accent any color in here nicely. Love it. I'm going to put a little on the under lash. Yeah, my eyes are looking way too powdery. So as that baked a little bit, it's definitely doing better. Let's see what color we're going to do. The Simulation. I can't wait to use this one. That's what I'm going to put on as an eyeliner and the lower lid. Oh, that goes on nicely. I definitely put a lot on there. I like this brush better too. Wow, I love when an eyeliner is so creamy that it can wing for you on the eyelid. I definitely like that. I really like this foundation a lot. Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. Fond de teint hydrant tellement jus. And I got that in Sephora, and a really nice girl helped me pick out my color. It's a cool peach, I think it is. I don't know, but it just works. And you know, if you can get a good foundation, it's worth it. I'm willing to pay a little more for stuff. If I don't have to, why do it? I was using Wet n Wild, which was much cheaper, but was so watery that it was drying out my skin so much. Okay, no fallout on this color either. I thought I had some fallout. I don't see any. I don't see any. I definitely have some wrinkling in the inner crease. It almost seems like it's fading already and changing color. I don't know why. You know, I've developed more of an eye for this through Nady, and I'm going to be a little more diligent in what I look at and how it performs. And I have developed more an eye for paying attention to how things perform on my eyes. And a week after living with that Toddy palette, I did not necessarily feel the same about it. But now I'm thinking, I was like, why did I like it so much at first and not later? I think the difference is the primer that I used. And so I'm definitely going to give that another look. Flat Earth. I wonder if I can go in around the crease with some of this light blue Flat Earth, if that will look good over the darker blue. I mean, this is blue. I'm going to have a blue Christmas. It's actually covering up the exposed quite a bit. But I could put exposed in the crease too. So now we're using 4 colors. Yeah, it's covering that up. It's blending with it though. It's making a nice color out of it. I definitely need to do the rest of my eyes. Okay, so I've got my eyeliner on now. I'm going to do touch-ups and build-ups on this lower lid. I want the blue to show a little bit more with the liner and above the liner. I'm finding, and I don't think this reads as much as it does in real life, even with my requirement of touch-up, because I always need touch-ups before I spritz, I love the way this blends. Even with the e.l.f. that I think might be my problematic thing, this has blended out really nicely, but I wish you could see how the colors, multi-colors, are just graduating into this darker purple, and I find them really flattering together. I think it will look much neater. And sometimes instead of using a brush, you can use the edge of a regular eyeshadow applicator. They'll sell them by themselves really cheap, and they work for touch-ups big time for me. I really like them. But this brush is, I find, is perfect for this. And I can touch up under my eye with this. I always go back and do last looks because I can take a while on one color, and by then maybe the other one's not as much the way I want it to be. I just like the way the blue blends into the purple on this. Oops. And I'm all about a dark corner. And sometimes you can play with it and just find a little bit changes a lot. I don't love the way my inner lid is performing, or this part of the lid too with my boyfriend's purse. But that could be in part my mature skin, and in part because I need the other one. I'm going to actually blend this out into a blue smoky eye with a purple so that they blend together well. And then just touch up the bottom eye. See, I've got a little bit of a smudge there from my eyeliner. If I weren't doing a video, I would probably redo the whole dang thing. But I don't know. There's ways to touch it up without having to do that. Let's not get crazy. Wait, let's touch it up with some of the earth color that I had in there that I think works well. I like the way, not so much on the inner eye, but for the rest of the lid, I find that you can put one of the flat earth or the exposed, one of these mattes, you can put, there's like a powder purple and a powder blue, and you can actually put the boyfriend's purse over that. And in this case, I'm going to use a little bit of my finger on this part. You can use your finger, you can spritz it on something, but I'm finding that application to work better, so it makes that stand out more. Center of the lid, I like to have my center lid shimmering a little bit, but now I've got to blend that in before I do any damage or spritz it. Or sometimes you're like, you get your look almost perfect and you think, do I dare mess with this again? Let's fix it up in the corner. And I really like this palette. I really like it a lot. It's a little better. Thinking like a, whoa, Nelly. A bit more pop of color. Give me a second. Sorry for all the clanking around. I have to be careful to stop doing that by the mic. I'm aware of it. Sorry. Okay, I was having lipstick issues. For now, I'm going with a color from e.l.f. called Nostalgic. I tried on so many. I'm like, I don't know. I think this is what I'm going with. Putting on a little, it's an e.l.f. Day, not sponsored. Putting on some e.l.f. blush. And I think I had some Lorac I want to use as well. I had some e.l.f. contouring. I'm going to use the, oh gosh, sliding off the Conspiracy palette. See, that's the good thing about having the flat box to put it in. So I'll put these here. Get my Lorac Plum Passion, Lorac Pro Plum Passion. I think Lorac is a great brand, by the way. Everything I use of theirs, I really like. It's quality. It doesn't get as much attention as some other brands, but it's good stuff. So what do you think? That's my look for Mini Controversy. And do you want to see another one? Because I want to do another one. And what are your feelings on the conspiracies, the controversies, and the complaints? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And as always, down below I will be shamelessly hawking my Patreon, my Teespring, and my P.O. Box. Let's keep cobwebs out of that for the holidays. Put in a card. I'll send you a card back. Unless you're in like another foreign land like Canada or something. Mama ain't made of money. I'm kidding. If you send one to me from a foreign land, I will do my best to send one back. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the week. Until next time, Hausfrau out.